We had a mutiny after that Glenn Stevenson game warden guy brought us the news that the Mitchell Community AM radio station had abandoned its position. I told the men to get some grease paint from the sporting goods department and that we would continue the mission as planned, including a tactical retreat through the I-81 interchange, the catchment pond, the Blackberry Barricade, and the 5-acre field of thorns. I stood up from behind the lawnmower display and gave one final order before jump-off. "No man shall be left behind," I said. "We shall stand by any fallen comrades, and if necessary, circle up for a last stand in defense of our position." Glenn Stevenson, again with his half-baked smirk of a grin, put his hands on his hips and offered an alternative plan. "Or you guys could just pile into my Uber taxi and I'll drive you back to the motel." This proves that this game warden taxi driver and smoker of Asian carp is really an agent of the New World Order, I pointed out to the assembled team.
"Glenn," said Larry as he got up and walked into the aisle, still tracking mud from the catchment pond. "Glenn, that's a great idea. Take me back to the motel. I have the money for the fare."
Larry had from time to time given me reason to question his loyalty to the Flat Earth movement, but I never imagined it would come this far. "Seize Larry," I said, trying to keep my emotions in check. "This is mutiny, and Larry shall be shot at dawn." "Is this some kind of a joke?" replied the game warden. "You nutcakes don't even have a gun." No, this can't be real." "Arrest the game warden," I ordered the team. "He is a double agent, the worst kind, and after he is tortured for information, we shall exchange him for political prisoners held by NASA and the CIA." It is as if the team had not even heard my orders. Larry, Tripper, and Ranger Dan simply stood up and followed the game warden out of the Mitchell Walmart superstore. The traitors left me standing in a pool of brown catchment water, still draining from my uniform and without the tactical gear I came for in the first place. Besides that, Larry had the only credit card and the only money. I felt some satisfaction in that I was both doing my duty and that I would probably receive a medal for my actions. It took me longer to get to the radio station than I planned. I had relied on Larry's input from the road map we found under the seat of his truck. Turns out that either NASA or the CIA had installed 2 additional water obstacles around the I-81 Mitchell off-ramp, and a woven wire fence along the entire right-of-way. I had to dig under each of the fences I encountered, as I didn't want to chance being targeted going over the fence. It took me hours to ford the water obstacles, clear piles of concrete installed as tank barriers, and dig my way through the fences. It was daylight as I reached a drainage ditch below a small hill. The hillside was covered in briar bushes and stinging nettles, but on top of the hill was the radio station, its parking lot filled with cars. Here is where I used my imitative of command and decided to alter my plan. I would break down the door of the radio station and allow that mad Michael the opportunity to interview me now, thus providing my critical information to all natural-born citizens and flat-earthers. Luckily, I had retrieved the hold harmless agreement from the Walmart loading dock, and I was fairly certain my long and careful approach to the station was completely successful. It took me another hour to crawl up the hill the last 100 yards, where mad Michael was waiting for me in the parking lot. "Memphis Applegate," said Michael, speaking into a microphone with a fury ball on top. "We saw you in the security camera. Why are you crawling up the hill? The driveway is only 10 yards over there." "It's tactical," I replied, as I picked nettles from my shirt. "You wouldn't understand, and you have no need to know." I ordered Michael to follow me to a safe location between the main building and the utility shack under the antenna tower. He signed the carefully prepared and certified hold harmless agreement without reading it, and then begins to ask silly questions and make outrageous statements to his radio audience. "Is Elvis still alive?" asked Michael, and before I could answer, he asked me random questions about Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, UFOs at Area 51, the Bermuda Triangle, Atlantis, and the spirit world. While he mentioned these subjects, he was leading me into the building and directing me to his broadcast booth. "What do you mean by the spirit world?" I asked. "Besides, I came here to provide the facts about the Globe Earth conspiracy and NASA's affiliation with the New World Order and the suppression of natural-born sovereign citizens. At this point, Michael became serious. Exactly, Michael said. And our viewers want to know about all those important topics and how they are linked to Flat Earth, the ice wall, the fake moon landings, the fake International Space Station, and the reptilians. Michael then signed off for a commercial break. It's 7:25 in Mitchell, West Virginia, and you are listening to Mad Michael in the Morning. If you have any questions for Memphis Applegate on any of these important topics, call us at 876-426-1000 and you will be on the air with Mad Michael in the Morning. Now, during the break, the calls started coming in. I don't think Michael was taking it seriously, as he continued to joke around with both me and the callers. What is more important, the threat of nuclear war or finding Atlantis? He asked one caller. Do you think UFOs are stationed beyond the ice wall, or under the Pacific Ocean, or somewhere inside a hollow Earth? He asked another caller. This how I knew he wasn't serious about the whole thing, as I was sitting right across from him and I knew all of those answers. His show must have been a comedy program of some time, as the rest of the people in the station laughed out loud with each of his antics. Finally, a caller named Jake called in. Good morning, Mad Michael. May I ask your guest a question? Sure enough, replied Mad Michael. I have 4 hours to kill every morning, but I think Memphis is getting a roid that we aren't talking about his expedition to the ends of the earth or whatever. Oh, that's fine, continued Jake. My comment concerns a new route to the ice wall by going through the earth to the underdome and traveling to the edge on the bottom of the dome. Perfect, replied Mad Michael. It is listeners like you that have made Mad Michael in the Morning the top radio show in the Valley. If I may comment, I interrupted Mad Michael. Jake has brought up an interesting concept that explains so many things, mainly how the dome over the earth is accessed and maintained. Also, it combines flat earth with the proven fact that the earth is also hollow. But where would the opening to the underdome be located? I know exactly where it is, Jake responded enthusiastically. It is located at an abandoned coal mine, just to the east of Mitchell. But there is a problem. The entrance to the mine is guarded by spirit beings put there by either NASA or Area 51. Jake, responded Mad Michael, when you catch any of those ghosts, you have a standing invitation to bring one or two down here to the studio. Mad Michael wasn't going to let me talk, but I spoke up anyway. Jake, I'm a certified paranormal communicator, credentialed in both ghost detection and elimination. I don't have any of my instruments with me, but we could buy most of the instruments at Walmart. The interview ended at 11 o'clock and I started my way back to the motel. It only took me 5 hours to travel the 2 miles back to the motel, and I could have gone faster, but I was being tracked by drones and microwave background radiation. When I got to the Motel 6 parking lot, I rushed out of the forest and immediately jumped into the broken ice machine for cover. My cover was broken, however, when a minute later the door of the ice machine was opened from the outside. Standing over me were Larry, Ranger Dan, Tripper, and a guy I didn't know. Memphis, smiled Larry. This is Jake Dobbs, the caller from the radio show. You all are traitors, I said, ignoring the introduction. I shall recommend you all to a duly appointed common law court, and you, Larry, should have already faced a firing squad. We have all seen the error of our ways, said Ranger Dan. Turns out that the game warden really was an agent, interjected Tripper. He said that you were nuts, and that we all were even nuttier for joining the team. And there is even more. He said he doesn't believe in the flat earth, and that the 3 of us were bumpkins. Besides that, Larry spoke up again, Jake here has told us all about the abandoned mine, and we want to be a part of the expedition.